Hello, and welcome to a special spooky edition of Popped Ones. Today we're joined with our special guest, Black Lens programmer, Ty Williams. Ty recently took over as our Black Lens programmer, and he programs a diverse category of films for Milwaukee, but he also just programmed a very special spooky series for October called Scareville. Ty, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what that series will entail?
Hi, yeah. I helped put on this series of Halloween films that we have, just all different films that we feel have a spooky, eerie, or creepy vibe to get you in the mood for Halloween. This series is called Scareville because it is based on the Scoville scale of hotness, meaning that our films rank from 1 to 10, 1 being the least scary and 10 being the most scary. So we will also have a passport, a little mini passport that you can get at the theater, so you can sort of track your journey along with us on your way to Scareville. If you want to see just one really scary movie or you want to see them all, we will have a way for you to track that and keep tabs on what movie you thought was the scariest.
That sounds super sweet and very scary. I can't wait. Flavor 1, question 1. Let's try it and chat a little bit. Ty, you started at the Oriental Theater a few years ago. You've been there longer than I've ever been there. And for people that maybe don't know you from the Milwaukee film scene or the music scene, could you introduce yourself a little bit, maybe where your passion for film came from and how long you've been doing this type of thing?
Yeah, totally. So I'm Ty Williams. I have been in Milwaukee for about 9 years now. I first came here from California to go to UW-Milwaukee's film school. And through my passion that I found in high school for film, well, earlier than that, but through my passion of wanting to be involved in film, I decided to take a chance and move to Milwaukee and made a lot of glorious connections, some of those being at UWM itself, working as a union cinema manager, and sort of finally getting my foot in the door here at Milwaukee Film as a cinema associate back in 2019. So yeah, I've been here for about 6 years now, and I have just gone through, or am about to finish in this October, my first year of being a programmer for Milwaukee Film. So yeah, I first got involved through college, but also...
Nice. Yeah, that's it out. See the vibe. This one's a little bit, I thought it was going to be more forward than it was.
Cinnamon?
That's got to be in there.
Okay.
That's part of the profile.
Okay.
It's interesting. I feel like a lot of people come from the UWM Union Cinema to here, and I've never been there, but I've never gone there. But
Never?
it seems lovely. It seems great.
You should go. They do a lot of experimental Tuesdays specifically too. There's not too many places that highlight experimental film, and I think that's a very good resource for everyone in the city. In the same way Milwaukee Film is a good resource for different specific types of films, such as dialogues, documentaries. Yeah, I think UWM excels at experimental media.
Interesting. Okay, I have one more tag-along question before you guess this flavor. How many staff picks have you had?
If we're talking public-facing staff picks, then only one, and if we're not counting programming, then only one, and that was Climax.
Climax?
Yes.
One of the most insane staff picks that I've ever seen in my entire life. I pre-watched a little bit of it before because you said it was going to be kind of wild.
Yeah.
And I still feel like there's nothing in the world that could have prepared me for that.
There's no amount of words that can prepare you for that movie. It's quite an experience.
But a crazy good soundtrack, and I feel like that kind of makes sense because you are a DJ. That you would choose something with a good soundtrack. What do you think?
It tastes like caramel rice cakes.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
It's pumpkin pie. It's pumpkin pie. That's a tricky one, though. I mean, it's a wide flavor profile.
Yeah.
Cinnamony, nutmeg.
It was all over the place, yeah.
Okay. Pumpkin pie. Moving on to flavor 2. Question 2, flavor 2. You have your entire life been what I would consider to be a true cinephile, with a specific love for anime. That's actually the reason that we got to have Ghost in the Shell on 35mm, which was a big deal, and I think if you went there, you probably know that it's a big deal. But how's your experience been transitioning from a lover and film watcher to a film programmer?
Yeah, it's been really interesting to see the ways in which you think the job works and how it actually operates. I think the same can be said for like a lot of different jobs that don't even have to deal with the art field. You have an idea of what it is, and then what the actual job is might be a little bit different. But the one thing that I have been shifting into transition-wise of just thinking about how I watch movies and how I would put movies in a sequence and how they might connect to each other. And as well as just the fact that we live in a bizarro world where copyright is insane. So learning who owns what and why they own it, or maybe the fact that a film that you think you would be able to get is just lost in someone's basement for 12 years. Things like that are very interesting to see the inner workings behind the scenes of how people archive films and keep them around so that way we can get them and show them to people, or how that process gets, messed up along the way. It's still interesting whether it's good or bad.
It's very interesting. I've always thought film programming, one, it's like watching a ton of movies, but then it's like, how do you even decide how to curate that? Because it's one, what movies you like, but two, you have to think for the entire audience of Milwaukee.
Yeah, this is really good.
Isn't it good?
But thinking about a wider net of an audience, as well as putting aside my own personal wants for what I think may work best cohesively. So yeah, I don't know. There's so many different anime films that if I could get them immediately, I would. If I could get all 3 Gundam movies, sure. But also, I don't think everyone would watch all 3 Gundam movies. So thinking about things like that, how do I get people to take a foray into my interests and things that I like while also still pertaining to them? And I think that's part of the reason why Ghost in the Shell was so important, because it was a print that we had and something that we were able to provide for the public that was very special, and kind of bridge the gap for people who may have heard this series name their entire life but never thought to go check it out. And we got to say, hey, come see it on the original format and see why so many people hail this as a great cinematic experience. So yeah, very special to be able to share that with people as well.
What do you think? What do you got for this one so far? It's the best flavor, and I wish we had this all year round, by the way.
It's like pumpkin caramel something. Like, there's caramel in there. My hands are sticky.
Is that your final guess, would you say?
Yeah.
It's caramel apple cider. But I couldn't do 2 pumpkins.
That's fair, yeah.
But I also thought, what seasoning am I going to want to eat after this? Because I'm one of the last seasonings that I thought caramel. It's like caramel apple spice. Very good.
On top of anime discussion, I was watching a movie called Kaiji about a gambler, and so I said pumpkin again. That's the episode I was just watching. They were doing rock, paper, scissors and explaining how the guy was like, he'll never throw scissors 4 times in a row. So I just thought, oh, there's got to be pumpkin twice in a row. So
That's how deeply embedded into anime culture you are.
Exactly.
Moving it through your logistical thinking. Speaking of anime, we're also getting Perfect Blue soon. I just made the webpage for it, so I'm super excited that we're showing that one.
that's an amazing film. 10 out of 10.
But anyways, and that's clearly enough. Flavor 2 done. Moving on to flavor 3. Okay, question number 3, flavor number 3, and this is a wild flavor, so take your time guessing. There's layers to it. But talking about Scareville and this lineup, out of all of the films that you programmed and looked at and brought to our theater, which one are you most excited to play here live?
Yeah, I have 2 actually, and the first is Cure by Kiyoshi Kurosawa. If you've been to the theaters recently, that name should be familiar to you. The director of the film Cloud, as well as a few others that you may have heard of, Pulse/Cairo. Just great filmmaker. And Cure specifically is one of those films that I have watched on the Criterion Channel, but it's a movie that after you watch it, you immediately think, wow, I wish I could have seen this in a movie theater. I wish I could have been in an atmosphere that was just completely enrapturing me in the film. And so for people who haven't seen it yet, I think that'll be a very, very interesting watch. It is like probably the most creepy detective movie there is. Some people will say Seven. But I feel like when I say creepy horror movie about a detective, there are images that flash in your mind of what that is, and that is basically what Cure is.
That's Cure is.
It gives you everything you want and more. And the other film that I'm very excited for is The House That Jack Built, which is on our more intense side of the lineup. And I like the film a lot. If you don't know what it's about, it is
About a
about
man who is a serial killer, and it is a profile of the serial killer. Lots of body horror, very gory, intense. But the twist is that the serial killer is having a conversation with Virgil from the Divine Comedy. So he is on a pathway to hell and having a debate about all of his murders. And Virgil is not agreeing with the serial killer and saying, like, no, actually, I think that's bad that you killed the person. So it's a very interesting take on what many true crime things do in
the modern day, where a lot of people try to make a serial killer seem larger than life and really scary. This film very much says, like, this guy is a human and still has human emotions and is flesh and bone just like you and I. Not in a way of sympathy, but just as a fact of this is life and death, one and the same.
I watched half of it. I'm more on the Monster House side of this scale of Scareville on movies I can handle. I've watched half of The House of Jack Built. It reminded me a lot of religious psychosis and that whole conversation of believing that you're divine and that you have divine purpose. And I don't know, psychologically it was very interesting. Visually it was a tough one to stomach. So.
Yeah, it has a few scenes in there that if you are not prepared, it will stick with you for a while. The subject matter is very intense. It's very high on the scale for a reason, but the ending is so perfect to me. I think that's a perfect ending to all the madness that is contained within that film. So if you're curious about that at all, I would highly suggest going seeing that, as well as Cure by Kiyoshi Kurosawa and Monster House.
Yeah, check them off your little your postcard, your stamp.
Yeah.
Stamp them off. What do you got? What do you think?
It's Pop Rocks flavor, isn't it?
Honestly, I think that counts. It's Halloween candy is the flavor.
Oh.
It's like sour Halloween candy. There's a few different flavors in here we mixed. So for you to say Pop Rocks, that's fair. It's pretty good. Tastes like
it's interesting.
Fun Dip.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Classic Halloween candy. Okay, flavor 3 done. On to flavor 4. So flavor 4, question 4. Out of all of the genres of horror, body horror, slasher, found footage, paranormal, do you find yourself to be just a general fan of horror? And which genre specifically do you watch the most?
Yeah, I'd consider myself a general fan of horror, the concept of just horror media. I think that there is an importance to being frightened in a safe space and being able to process those feelings to then go on and utilize it in your life and use that as courage. Any type of media that involves horror I think is somewhat important. But as far as my favorite genres go, I would say that I more lean towards in more intense things. I do like the body horror and more like the psychological horror, as well as things that are existential. I don't really want to watch a horror movie to get grossed out. I want to watch a horror movie to think, and also think for a long time. So that usually falls under the category of existential or psychological horror, I would say.
I like something existential a little bit more. I think as far as body horror goes, we just added, we had a little switcheroo on the list, and we were able to add
Tetsuo the Iron Man.
Which is one of the only body horror movies that I can really get down with. I think because it's a little bit older and it's a little bit, the special effects and the practical effects, 1, incredible, 2, really campy.
Yes.
But
a very great display of filmmaking skill, because if I'm remembering correctly, the director did all of that with his own money in his own apartment, house, what have you. So it's a very earnestly made film, I would say.
Yeah. Practical and still disgusting, you know? I know. It's there's...
Oh, Lord, what is this?
It's complicated. Think like Christian Girl Autumn when you think this flavor.
Pumpkin spice latte?
Oh, close. I'm just going to tell you. Wait, is that your final guess?
Yeah.
It's chai spice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a chai. It could be a pumpkin chai, but I don't think it is.
Couldn't have 3 pumpkin flavors, is what I'm learning. Maybe the anime taught me wrong.
You're fine. It's a real señorita awesome flavor, you know? Okay, and now we're going to be moving into what I like to call the special bonus round. Okay, the bonus round, we've entered it. I'm going to ask Ty some very specific trivia questions, and if he answers them correctly, he will win a special prize, custom to this Popped Ones. So, Wisconsin natives Rob Schrab and Dan Harmon wrote the screenplay for Monster House, featured in Scareville. Do you know the city in Wisconsin that the house itself was based on? And a two-parter, do you know the city in Wisconsin that the neighborhoods were based on? 2 different answers. I feel you might know.
I do know. I know and I don't know, but the trivia I know is that the screenplay writer and director were both from Wisconsin, and I believe it was the writer themselves lived in a more middle of nowhere situation. So there was a creepy house in their neighborhood that they based the Monster House off of, but the neighborhood itself that takes place, where Monster House takes place, that is Milwaukee. So
That's correct. The house itself is based off, he lived in Mayville, Wisconsin.
There we go, yeah.
So that's like where the house, but then all of the surrounding neighborhoods and like, he wanted it to be based off of like his childhood growing up, and the layout of Milwaukee neighborhoods is super cool. So if you're watching that movie, you're loving Wisconsin. Please reach into your pumpkin for your custom special prize. There's a few in there. What could it be? What could it be? Uh-oh, human teeth.
Oh.
Woo! Scareville. Custom for you. You can keep those.
Oh, of course.
All right.
Take them home.
Let's get to question number 2. Question number 2 in the bonus round. We are also showing in the Scareville lineup Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Do you know what the voice actor John Larroquette accepted for his payment for doing the entire opening narration of that film? How was this man paid? And it's a fact, I checked it.
I don't know.
It wasn't in cash.
It wasn't in booze. No, it wasn't.
He was paid. Do you have one final guess before I?
My final guess is cigarettes.
He was paid in one single marijuana joint. Fun fact.
Wow.
And for even in participating in this question, we will be giving you 1 plate of Halloween cookies.
Wow.
What? Nice. All right, we actually have one bonus question. Because we know that you love the movie Climax so much, Gaspar Noé actually, the film itself was a ton of improvisation, but the script itself did exist. Do you know how many pages that script that they built off of was? Cut it in half, it's 5.
Ah.
It's fine, he already got the cookies, he already got the human teeth, he's good. Okay, thank you, Ty, for joining us on this special spooky edition of Popped Ones. I hope that all of you watching this can join us for Scareville coming this October.